we have AI, we have quantum, we have mysterious objects showing up on the coast. It does seem like a lot of things are converging right now.
Well, if I was an advanced civilization that had already passed this stage, maybe this is like a common stage. Maybe this is just like how bees all over the world make beehives. They all do the same thing, right? Maybe this is a strange stage that intelligent life gets to when it reaches a point of technological sophistication where it can create an artificial version of a thinking being. And then that thinking being, of course, creates infinitely better versions of itself and figures out a way to harness power in a way that's just we can't even comprehend, which is what a quantum computer connected to AGI would be able to do. Maybe that's like, maybe they know that this happens and they're like, oh, it's about to happen. And so then they come. Like, wasn't there a meeting, some sort of there was another good tinfoil hat one. I was like, ooh, what are they talking about? There was some super top secret meeting with the people from the James Webb Telescope because of something they had discovered. There was some thing that they had seen that they decided, and I don't know what that means. You know, if you really wanted to get terrified, you would say, oh my God, an asteroid's coming. And it might be that. Or it might be there's some new thing that sort of rewrites the date of the beginning of the Big Bang, which is they're kind of starting to talk about doing that now. They're trying to, there's some people that want to push the creation of the universe back to about like 22 billion years instead of like 13 point whatever it is now.
Who cares? Why keep that secret? You know, that's not going to freak people out.
Well, that's, I'm just being charitable. I'm saying like, or there's something out there, or there's something that they know is headed our way. You know, it is, I mean, it is possible. We're doing it. We send things to Mars, right? And if we know that we're going through this thing right now, we're about to create AGI, we're about to implement quantum computing in this country, who knows what they're doing in other countries. If this is just like a thing that beings go through, and we get past this, and then we find another planet out there that's also like dropping nuclear bombs on it, we would probably start circling that planet and making sure they don't fuck the whole thing up. I mean, it just seems like to be, it's probably insanely difficult to get intelligent life to the position that we're in right now in a volatile universe that's subject to natural disasters, asteroid impacts, supervolcanoes, earthquakes, tsunamis, all different things that could wipe out technology and bring it back to the caveman days. You know, if all that is known and this is going on all throughout the universe, it would probably be in their best interest to sort of protect this investment in evolution and not have us knock back to the Stone Age and have to start all over again. And not have us nuke ourselves to the point where there's like 13 of us left, you know?
Well, outside of you know, us nuking ourselves, what do you think that the oncoming Trump administration should do about the UAP topic? Have you thought about that?
Yes, I have. He couldn't tell me anything. I tried to get it out of him. He wouldn't tell me shit. He basically, you know, I've seen some things, I know some things. Transparency, I think, is very important. I think peel the fucking Band-Aid off. Tell us what you're doing. Tell us what you know. And if you can't, I have to think that it's a military intelligence thing. Like, you don't want the enemy to know what you're capable of, which I totally understand. You know, if that's what's going on and that's why they can't tell us, that actually makes sense. But if it's not that, and it's that we are experiencing contact on a regular basis with something that we can't explain or understand, you don't have the right to that. You don't have the right to that information. That's not yours to. That's the human race's. Like, people love to have fucking super top secrets that no one else can know, and you're in the in. But you can't have that one. You can't have that one. If you're telling me that you have to do it because we've developed some sort of a gravity propulsion system that's infinitely superior to anything the Soviet Union has or that Russia has or China has, fine. That's not my business. I'm not in the business of the military and national security. If that's why you can't tell us, I totally understand. But if you are in contact with fucking aliens and you know they exist, you know there's something that visits us, whether it's from another dimension or whether it's from another planet, that's not yours. That's not yours to tell. You can't treat us like fucking babies, like we can't handle this. If you actually have recovered a crashed UFO, Look, I understand the implications of national security if you're trying to back engineer that thing. I understand that. If you're saying, like, we have to get to this, if China gets to this is a game changer, we're fucked. I get it. Anything else, you have to tell us. Because it doesn't make any sense that you, some unelected official, some guy who's working in coordination with Raytheon or whatever the fuck you're doing, you can't keep that shit secret. That's the world's information.
Yeah.
You know, that should be a crime. This is something the human race needs to know. So we need to know if it's bullshit. We need to know. Look, again, if it's our stuff and we can't say anything about it because we can't let China know that we have that, and we did huddle up these fucking physicists in some obscure college and we did create some wild shit that the rest of the world is not really ready for or doesn't understand yet. Maybe we're way ahead of the curve in that. But other than that, you gotta fucking tell us. You gotta tell us what the fuck is going on.
I agree with you.
And how is it happening like back in 2004? This is where it gets squirrely.
Yeah.
Where it gets squirrely is like in 2004, we didn't even have a fucking iPhone, okay? So in 2004, everybody had flip phones. You were the shit if you had a Motorola Razr. You were living in the future, you know? So that's not, it's not feasible that you would have something that moves like the Tic Tac in 2004. That's not feasible. That doesn't make any sense to me, that you have something that can go from 50,000 feet above sea level to 50 in a second. What? Like, what's it made out of that it doesn't disintegrate? Like, what is that? How fast is that? What the fuck does that even mean? That's space. You go from space to the surface of the water in a second? No, how?
It's equivalent of multiple nuclear bombs going off in energy expenditure.
How is that possible in 2004? Like, that doesn't even make any sense to me. So if it's not ours and if it's not some back-engineered stuff, then what's going on?
You know, I think there's two conversations that kind